Every once in a while, you meet someone who doesn't need to shout to be heard. They don't need validation to prove their worth. And when they leave a room, they leave without noise, but their absence echoes louder than any words could. That's you. You're not like other women. You don't feel the need to dramatize, to justify, to fight for attention. Your strength is quiet, and that is exactly what makes it so powerful. There's a misconception that being silent, reserved, or private means being weak. It does not. Real power is calm, composed, deliberate. It's in knowing what matters and what doesn't. It's in keeping your energy for what aligns with your values, not for what others demand. When you leave a situation, a job, or even a relationship without drama, people notice. They might not understand it at first, but absence, when carried with dignity, leaves a mark. You teach people more in that quiet retreat than many ever could with noise. True power often doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand attention, applause, or validation. The women who move through life quietly, observing, listening, and choosing their words with care carry a strength that is invisible yet undeniable. Silence is not emptiness. It is focus. It is patience. It is confidence. When you don't feel the need to explain yourself or defend your choices, you demonstrate that your power comes from within, not from external approval. Quiet strength is deliberate. It's the calm in the storm, the steady hand in chaos, the resilience that persists even when others are loud or reactive. People underestimate it at their own risk because those who possess it often achieve more, influence more, and leave a more lasting impact than those who shout the loudest. There is an undeniable power in walking away quietly. You don't need drama. You don't need explanations. You don't need to justify your decisions to anyone. Leaving without noise is a declaration of self-respect, a way of saying, I know my worth, and I won't compromise it for anyone who doesn't value me. It's tempting to react when situations hurt us, to argue, to prove ourselves, but the truly strong understand that energy spent on unnecessary confrontation is energy stolen from their own growth. Choosing to leave calmly, without chaos, is a rare act of courage. When you exit a situation gracefully, people notice, even if they don't realize it immediately. Your absence speaks volumes. It communicates boundaries, integrity, and inner strength without a single word. Leaving without noise is not about avoiding conflict. It's about prioritizing your peace and refusing to be defined by someone else's narrative. Those who have seen you leave quietly never forget it, because true power doesn't scream. It lingers, leaving a lasting impression that demands respect long after the moment has passed. You don't always have to be seen or heard to make a difference. Sometimes, your influence is subtle, almost invisible, but its effect is undeniable. The choices you make, the integrity you hold, and the quiet way you navigate life ripple outward in ways you might never witness. But they matter all the same. People notice authenticity more than noise. When you act from your values, when you lead with compassion and self-respect, it leaves a mark on everyone around you. Even small, quiet actions can shift perspectives, inspire others, and create change that resonates far beyond the moment. Your presence, even when silent, sets a standard. It teaches others how to respect themselves, how to honor boundaries, and how to recognize true strength. It's the silent force that challenges norms, awakens awareness, and sparks reflection, all without a word. True influence doesn't need a spotlight. It doesn't demand attention. It is felt, remembered, and honored precisely because it comes from quiet confidence, integrity, and unwavering authenticity. Your impact may be invisible, but it is profound and it endures. One of the most powerful marks of a woman who moves quietly through life is her ability to own her boundaries. She knows where she begins and ends. She understands that her time, energy, and peace are sacred, and she protects them fiercely, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Owning your boundaries means saying no without guilt, walking away without drama, and refusing to bend to the expectations of others when they conflict with your values. It's a quiet strength that communicates, I am enough, I am whole, and I will not compromise my integrity for anyone's comfort. Boundaries are invisible armor. They safeguard your emotional and mental well-being while allowing you to engage fully and authentically in the relationships and situations that truly matter. When you honor your limits, others begin to recognize them too. They learn how to treat you, not because you demanded it, but because you quietly modeled it. Owning your boundaries is not about shutting people out. It's about creating space for what aligns with your purpose and letting go of what doesn't. That clarity, that self-respect is magnetic. It draws in those who deserve you and gently removes those who don't, leaving a life filled with authenticity, peace, and undeniable strength. True confidence doesn't need an audience. It doesn't demand approval, validation, or explanation. A woman who embodies quiet strength knows that she doesn't owe anyone a reason for her choices, her beliefs, or the life she is building. There is freedom in this kind of self-assuredness. When you stop defending yourself, stop explaining your worth, and stop seeking permission, you step fully into your power. You move with a calm authority that is felt by everyone around you, whether they realize it or not. Confidence without justification is magnetic. It commands respect because it is rooted in authenticity, not performance. It challenges others to reflect on their own insecurity and invites them to engage with you honestly, without pretension or manipulation. The world may be noisy, demanding, and often critical, but you remain steady. Your quiet confidence is a force, subtle yet unstoppable. It's the strength that doesn't need to prove itself because its existence is undeniable. Loud moments may capture attention for a brief instant, but they rarely leave a lasting impression. True power is quiet, steady, and enduring. A woman who leads with calm confidence influences outcomes without forcing them, leaving a legacy that endures far beyond the moment. Her impact is subtle but profound. She doesn't need to shout to be noticed. Her presence, her choices, and her integrity speak for themselves. People remember how she made them feel, how she inspired them, and the way her strength reshaped situations, all without drama or noise. The power of quiet strength is transformative. It teaches patience, respect, and resilience. It inspires others to rise not by command, but by example. And while the world may often reward the loud, the lasting influence belongs to those who act with intention, courage, and authenticity. To wield power that lasts is to embrace restraint, to honor your inner truth, and to trust that your quiet presence will leave ripples far greater than any fleeting display ever could. Quiet strength understands the power of patience. You don't rush. You don't force outcomes. You know that timing is as essential as action, and sometimes the most profound impact comes not from moving fast, but from waiting with intention. Patience allows you to observe, reflect, and choose the path that aligns with your values. It prevents unnecessary conflict, conserves your energy, and ensures that when you do act, it is deliberate and effective. People with quiet strength rarely react impulsively. They respond thoughtfully, and their actions carry weight because they are measured and purposeful. Embracing patience also shows self-trust. You don't need immediate results to validate your worth or your choices. You understand that life unfolds in its own rhythm, and by honoring that rhythm, your presence and influence grow naturally. The quiet observer often becomes the one whose voice, at the right moment, commands respect and inspires change far more than someone who constantly pushes or shouts. Quiet strength carries influence that doesn't need to dominate or coerce. You don't have to push, argue, or demand recognition to be impactful. Your presence, your integrity, and the way you navigate life naturally inspire and guide those around you. Influence without force is subtle but profound. It's about showing, not telling, leading by example, living authentically, and letting your actions speak louder than your words. People are drawn to this energy because it feels genuine, not performative. They respect it, internalize it, and often find themselves changed without even realizing it. This kind of influence is lasting because it is rooted in trust, authenticity, and calm authority. You don't need to impress anyone. The impact you leave lingers long after the moment has passed. You teach, guide, and shape through presence alone, and that is a rare and remarkable power. The women who move quietly through life leave a mark that endures long after they are gone. They don't need to boast or demand recognition. Their legacy is written in the respect they earned, the boundaries they upheld, and the integrity with which they lived. Every choice, every calm action, every graceful exit contributes to a lasting impression. People remember how they felt in your presence, seen, valued, and challenged to rise to their own best selves. That is the power of quiet strength. It shapes hearts and minds without ever needing to scream for attention. A legacy of respect isn't built overnight. It is cultivated through patience, consistency, and authenticity. When you act with quiet confidence, honor your boundaries, and lead with integrity, you leave behind an invisible yet indelible mark, a blueprint for how strength, dignity, and influence coexist in the most profound way. Quiet strength is not the absence of power. It is power in its purest form. It is calm, deliberate, and enduring. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to fight to be respected. Your presence, your choices, and the way you navigate life with integrity speak louder than words ever could. Being a woman who moves without noise is a superpower. You influence, inspire, and leave a legacy simply by being yourself, authentic, confident, and unwavering. Those who underestimate quiet strength often realize too late that it is unstoppable. Embrace your calm authority. Honor your boundaries. Walk away when needed. Lead with patience, confidence, and authenticity. And remember, you are not like other women. And that difference is your greatest, most enduring power. The most powerful women are those who protect their inner peace above all else. They understand that chaos, drama, and external pressures are temporary distractions, but calm confidence and self-respect are enduring. Owning your peace means refusing to be pulled into unnecessary conflict and choosing instead to live in alignment with your values. When you prioritize your serenity, you demonstrate a quiet mastery over your life. Others may try to provoke, to challenge, or to test you, but your composed response communicates strength far more effectively than noise or aggression ever could. Your calm presence becomes a sanctuary, a steady force that inspires and reassures. Inner peace is not passive. It requires awareness, courage, and self-discipline. But once you claim it, you move through the world with a power that is invisible yet undeniable, a force that shapes outcomes, earns respect, and leaves a lasting mark on everyone you encounter. Some of the most powerful impacts in life are the ones that go unnoticed at first. Quiet strength often works behind the scenes, shaping perspectives, guiding choices, and inspiring change without fanfare. You don't need recognition for your influence. It exists in the subtle ways you live your truth. The unseen influence is felt in how people carry themselves after interacting with you, in the lessons learned without being explicitly taught, and in the ripple effects of your calm, deliberate actions. This influence is enduring because it is authentic, not performative, and it reaches deeper than temporary attention ever could. By embracing your unseen influence, you lead with intention and integrity. You show others that true power is not about being loud, it's about being consistent, authentic, and unwavering. Your quiet actions shape lives and leave a legacy that outlasts noise, leaving an imprint that can never be erased. Quiet strength is rooted in authenticity. When you show up as your true self, without masks, without pretense, you inspire others to do the same. People are drawn not to performance, but to genuineness. Your authenticity becomes a beacon, quietly encouraging those around you to honor their own truth. Being authentic means embracing your flaws, your strengths, and every nuance in between. It means living aligned with your values, regardless of external pressures or expectations. When you lead with authenticity, you demonstrate that strength isn't about impressing others. It's about being steadfast in who you are. The most lasting influence comes not from words or actions alone, but from the integrity of being yourself. Your authenticity creates a ripple effect. It empowers, it transforms, and it leaves a mark far beyond what anyone can see. In a world that often values noise over truth, authenticity is the quiet superpower that changes lives. True power doesn't need to demand attention. It earns it naturally. Quiet confidence is subtle yet undeniable. When you move through life with assurance, grounded in your values and inner strength, people notice. They respect you not because you shouted, but because your presence exudes authority, integrity, and calm certainty. This confidence is not arrogance. It doesn't seek approval or validation. Instead, it trusts in your worth, your abilities, and your judgment. When others sense that inner stability, it inspires trust and admiration. Your calm, assured demeanor communicates, I know who I am, and I won't compromise it for anyone. A quiet confidence shapes interactions, guides outcomes, and leaves a lasting impression. It demonstrates that real strength is measured not by noise, but by unwavering self-respect, poise, and the ability to influence without force. It is the power that moves mountains silently, yet effectively. Quiet strength has a way of lingering in the hearts and minds of those you encounter. You may not seek attention, you may not make a scene, but the way you carry yourself, the choices you make, and the integrity you uphold leave a mark that cannot be ignored. Leaving an unforgettable impression isn't about dramatics or grand gestures. It's about presence, authenticity, and the subtle power of consistency. People remember how you made them feel, how you moved through challenges with calm assurance, and how your quiet confidence reshaped their perception of what true strength looks like. When you leave a room, a relationship, or a situation gracefully, your absence resonates louder than words ever could. That's the gift of quiet power. It leaves a lasting imprint, teaches respect, and inspires admiration long after you've moved on. Quiet strength isn't just about moving gracefully through life. It's also about enduring its storms with resilience. The calm woman doesn't crumble under pressure or react impulsively. Instead, she meets challenges with poised reflection and unwavering resolve. Resilience through calm means understanding that setbacks are temporary and that how you respond defines your future more than the event itself. It is the inner steadiness that allows you to recover, grow, and continue moving forward without losing your integrity or peace of mind. Those who cultivate this resilience inspire others, often without realizing it. Their quiet endurance teaches lessons that loud displays of strength cannot, lessons of patience, courage, and the unstoppable power of a composed spirit. In the end, calm resilience is both armor and legacy, shaping the life you live and the impact you leave behind.